My name's Olivia Schofield and I'm a Londoner living in Berlin, and I run two organisations called Vocal Women and Spectacular Speaking. In my talk today I'm going to be talking about unconscious bias, which is a big issue. Actually, just to give you an example, Apple made a health app and it took into account all sorts of health angles, but it forgot those few days a month that women have their days. And that was an oversight, and unfortunately a bias. More men were involved in the making of that product. There was also the hand dryer that only recognised white hands underneath it, and it wouldn't go off. So there's many cases of unconscious bias, and that's because of the people working, developing and coding these products are often sort of average, male, white. So that's why we need a lot more diversity in coding and in IT. So it's great to see that you've really made an effort here at Codemotion to get a lot more women on the stage and a lot more women involved in the conference. And women need to step up more because they need their voices to be heard and they need to influence that coding and those products. When we're growing up, there's a lot of emphasis on us and them. Us the pupils and them the teachers, yeah. Us the workers and them the leaders. But actually, we get a much better effect and result if we don't think of an us and them situation, so that we don't think of ourselves as one individual and the team or the other people as something outside. If we work as a team, so that we all work together, no matter what background you've come from, what position you're in, but you pull together as a team, you get much better results. I mean, that saying that says it's amazing what can be achieved if you don't care who gets whose idea it was, who gets the praise for it. If you don't mind about that, and you can really do great with teams. And I've been working recently with a lot of startups, and they're doing things like taking away all sorts of job titles and getting people to work in small teams. And so mixed gender teams are obviously the best teams. But the more we think in an abundance mindset, and an abundance mindset is a mindset that says there's enough for everybody. And a non-abundance mindset is a mindset that says there's only enough for me. So I've got to protect my thing, and I've got to look after my thing, and I'm not going to share. Nowadays there's so much more sharing going on of information, of ideas, even with your competitors. And that's a great thing to see. It means that you get on and your competitor gets on. So for me, we should appreciate people's individual characteristics, give them the right jobs that they're really good at, but make sure they're part of a supporting and inspiring team. There are lots of skills that bring about great success. I'm going to say the first one is communication, because communication builds connection. Connection between you and your team, between you and your client, between you and your audience, connection. So speaking in public, many people are terrified of people speaking in public. They want to kind of get away from it. Not me, choose someone else, you know. But actually, when we do speak in public, we can inspire and we can influence and we can be seen to be an inspiring leader. So this is the key thing that is important to your success. The second point that's important to your success is get rid of your ego. So many people are all about themselves and their ego and how they look and how they come across. But actually, the best leaders are those ones that go, ego doesn't play a part. If you tell me that I did something wrong, I accept it. I did something wrong. I've got to do something better next time or different next time. So there's no place for ego if you want to be successful. And the third thing is mindset. If you don't believe you can be successful, then you probably can't, because it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's very good to think of yourself as someone that is able to be as successful as just anyone else is. You are no different. You are unique, you are individual, you have something to bring. And so the more that you can say, I am myself, I bring myself to the table, and I will do my very best, I think the more success you will have. So to go over those 3 things: speak in public as often as you can, communicate well, communicate to connect, get rid of your ego, there's no place for that here. And thirdly, mindset. You're just as good as anyone else. Believe that you can succeed, and you'll be surprised. That's a fascinating question. What is the difference between what people see and what people hear? And why have we moved from visual presentations to ones that use less visuals? And we're talking here about slides. You know, the demon of today, slides. Don't use slides. And I'm doing the closing keynote today, and you will see no slides. There will be no slides in my speech. And basically what happened is slides were used like notes. Instead of people having notes, they put stuff up on a slide, and slides were used just for information. And so it was full of words and boring stuff, and often the speaker would turn to their slides and just read them. And then of course there was a new movement, and the new movement said, now slides have got to stimulate. So people started to put photos on their slides, and slides that created feelings and emotions. And now the new way is saying no one can create better visuals than your own mind as a listener. So why should I enforce my visual on you when each individual person in the audience can create their own visuals if the speaker uses visual language, storytelling techniques? So these are the skills you really need today: how to use visual language, how to use inspiring language, and how to weave stories that make points. Stories will always be remembered, and people will have visuals in their mind. You don't need slides anymore.